On a quiet afternoon in Glendale, Arizona, chaos erupted. An unmarked, fully armored Wells Fargo vehicle was targeted in a brazen heist. This event not only shocked the nation but also unveiled deep-rooted issues within law enforcement. November 28, 1994, marks a pivotal moment. Armed robbers, posing as law enforcement, executed a meticulously planned ambush. But what led to this incident? How did internal threats within police departments contribute? Let's break this down step by step. First, understand the role of law enforcement patrol units. Patrol officers are meant to protect and serve, but some crossed a dangerous line. Corruption within the ranks can create a breeding ground for violent crime. Next, the FBI's mission is to uncover such threats. The Bureau regularly investigates police misconduct. Their efforts are vital in maintaining public trust, but not without challenges. Internal threats often hide behind badges, making detection difficult. Now, let's explore how these robbers executed their plan. They had knowledge of police tactics. They disguised themselves and used unmarked vehicles to blend in. This made it easier to catch their target off guard. Imagine a swarm of chaos. Witnesses saw officers arriving and assumed it was business as usual. Suddenly, guns blazed, and lives were forever changed. The robbers had the element of surprise, highlighting a crucial gap in police protocol. This story is not just about the heist. It's a reflection of larger issues. Corruption can exist anywhere, even in the most trusted institutions. Ignoring the signs only further complicates the situation. Summarizing key points, this incident shows the need for accountability in law enforcement. It reveals the dangers corrupt officers pose to society. We must remain vigilant in ensuring justice to protect the innocent. What can you do next? Stay informed about local law enforcement activities. Advocate for transparency and accountability within police departments. Your voice can help hold them accountable. This event shaped how we view law enforcement today. Learn from the past, to build a better future. Together, we can help create change. On that fateful day in 1994, the sun cast an unassuming glow over Glendale, masking the brewing storm of betrayal and violence. As the armored vehicle approached its designated route, the meticulous planning of the robbers unfolded seamlessly, thanks to their intimate knowledge of police operation schedules. The robbers, clad in law enforcement attire, moved with calculated precision, masking their true intent beneath a facade of authority. As their ambush commenced, the atmosphere shifted dramatically, plunging the scene into chaos. With sirens wailing in the distance, the scene erupted into a cacophony of gunfire and confusion, as the attackers' strategy exploited the element of surprise. Innocent bystanders, caught in the crossfire, faced the harsh reality of the masked threat that had shattered their calm afternoon. Meanwhile, the robbers, driven by desperation and deception, pushed forward, seizing control of the armored vehicle. The sudden eruption of violence raised urgent questions about the safety mechanisms in place, leaving the community trembling and anxious. It became evident that trust in a guardian could turn into a pathway for betrayal. The aftermath of the incident left a palpable sense of unease lingering in the air as the community grappled with the implications of such a betrayal. Rumors began to swirl, fueled by fear and uncertainty, raising disturbing questions about the integrity of those sworn to protect them. Investigators mobilized swiftly, aiming to untangle the web of the robbers' connections, while citizens searched for reassurances in a landscape now marred by distrust. Local leaders called for immediate reforms, urging for thorough investigations into police conduct to restore faith in public safety. As healing began, the painful lessons of that day served as a catalyst for change, igniting discussions about accountability, transparency, and the critical need for a vigilant society to safeguard its own. Together, the people of Glendale sought to rebuild not just their community, but the moral fabric of their protective institutions, determined to ensure that such a travesty would never happen again. Caught in this turmoil, families began to question what had gone wrong. Conversations buzzed in living rooms, coffee shops, and streets as residents demanded answers and accountability. Trusted officers, once seen as heroes, were now under scrutiny, revealing the fragile bond between law enforcement and the communities they served. The stark realization that corruption can infiltrate even the most honorable professions echoed in the hearts of the citizens of Glendale. As investigations unfolded, the push for systemic change grew louder, fueled by a shared urgency to restore integrity and trust. Together, they recognized that rebuilding was not just necessary but imperative for a safer future. In the wake of the Glendale heist, a new resolve formed among the community members. Together, they forged a path toward renewed vigilance, promoting transparency within law enforcement, ensuring that trust was rebuilt brick by brick. The events of that day would serve as a beacon, guiding efforts for lasting reform. As the dust began to settle across Glendale, the residents took to community forums and town hall meetings, voicing their concerns and hopes for a safer future. Conversations shifted from anger to action, as they sought collaborative solutions, addressing how to restore the integrity essential to effective policing. It was not merely about seeking justice for the day's events but cultivating a culture of oversight and responsibility. Local leaders emerged, championing reform efforts and engaging with citizens to identify specific changes needed within the police department. The discussions led to the formation of citizen advisory boards, where community members actively participated in shaping policies aimed at preventing corruption and enhancing accountability. Town meetings buzzed with energy as residents shared their insights, bringing diverse perspectives into the fold. They proposed initiatives such as mandatory training sessions for officers on ethical practices and community engagement techniques. The vibrant exchange of ideas fostered a sense of ownership among the citizens, igniting a collective determination to rebuild trust. For many, these meetings became a lifeline, a way to reclaim their narrative amidst the chaos. It was not just about reforming law enforcement, it was about restoring faith in the very fabric of their community. As passionate voices rose, it became evident that real change could only be achieved through unity and shared purpose. With each action taken, the residents of Glendale moved one step closer to forging a safer, more transparent environment. They recognized that success would require ongoing diligence and commitment, transforming their tribulations into a powerful movement for justice and reform that could resonate far beyond their town. In the heart of these meetings, stories of personal encounters with law enforcement emerged, illuminating the deep-seated fears and frustrations faced by many. Residents recounted instances of misconduct, where trust had been betrayed by those sworn to protect them, each tale resonating with the collective grief of a community grappling with betrayal. This dialogue fostered a greater understanding of the complexities surrounding policing, urging attendees to confront uncomfortable truths. The atmosphere shifted as empathy flourished, with attendees recognizing the importance of reform not only for police transparency but also for healing wounds that ran deep. The community forged a pact, one of solidarity and resilience, committing to monitor police actions diligently while advocating for responsible law enforcement practices that prioritize the well-being of all citizens. Each voice added a vital layer to the evolving narrative, transforming pain into purpose. Together, they would emerge stronger, united in their quest to reimagine a law enforcement framework rooted in ethics, accountability, and respect for the community it served, ensuring that the tragedies of the past would steer them toward a brighter, more secure future. As the movement gained momentum, prominent voices began to echo the community's desires on larger platforms. Activists collaborated with reform-minded politicians to introduce new legislation aimed at improving oversight in law enforcement practices. Advocacy groups mobilized, rallying in support to amplify Glendale's story, demonstrating to other towns and cities that change is possible through unity and perseverance. The momentum began to attract national attention, as media outlets spotlighted Glendale's efforts to shine a light on corruption within policing. Citizens learned they were not alone, countless others were also grappling with similar issues, igniting a broader discussion about accountability nationwide. This collective awareness fostered an environment ripe for change, encouraging individuals to demand action. In the spirit of solidarity, local organizations united efforts, strategizing on approaches that not only addressed policy change but also fostered a culture of trust and cooperation between law enforcement and the communities they protect. As these conversations blossomed, they fueled an undeniable sense of hope that a more transparent and just system could be achieved through unwavering commitment and collective vigilance against wrongdoing. It was a realization that the fight for justice doesn't end with one incident, it requires ongoing engagement and a steadfast commitment to protect the rights and safety of all citizens. In the aftermath of the chaos, Glendale emerged as a symbol of resilience, courage, and a model for other communities seeking reform. As momentum built, a palpable shift occurred within the hearts and minds of Glendale's residents. They recognized this was a pivotal moment. Reform could not remain a distant hope, but a concrete action. Initiatives to improve training for officers, coupled with frequent community police dialogues, began to take shape, creating a framework for sustained interaction. Local schools joined in the efforts, emphasizing the importance of civic education and encouraging students to engage in conversations about justice and community responsibility. The youth became emblematic of hope, their involvement signaling a generational shift towards accountability and awareness. Through workshops and collaborative projects, they learned to navigate the complexities of law enforcement, fostering a deeper understanding of the intricate relationship between police and community. The fires of change ignited passion, spreading beyond Glendale's borders as they shared their journey, inspiring others facing similar struggles across America. As their community continued to evolve, residents remained steadfast, determined never to allow complacency to undermine their hard-won progress. Trust would once again weave itself into the fabric of their society, a testament to their resilience in the face of adversity. The community rallied stronger than ever, catalyzing broader movements for accountability in law enforcement all across the nation. Citizens who once felt powerless began to see their voices amplified through advocacy, transforming anger into purpose-driven action. As reform initiatives took shape, it became clear that Glendale's experience had transcended local borders, igniting nationwide discussions about the relationships between communities and those sworn to protect them. Town hall meetings evolved into platforms for change, particularly where marginalized voices resonated loudly, advocating for justice, equity, and systemic reform. With a renewed focus, Glendale emerged not merely as a backdrop for a single heist but as an enduring symbol of resilience and the fight for integrity in law enforcement. The journey, filled with challenges and heartache, ultimately forged a path toward hope and healing, demonstrating that collective action could reshape the future, ensuring that the mistakes of the past would never repeat themselves. Together, the residents crafted a narrative rooted in vigilance, empathy, and unyielding commitment to justice, transforming their community into a beacon of change that would inspire others for years to come. As legislative changes began to take form, it became evident that the community's voice was a powerful tool against injustice. Residents remained engaged, participating actively in discussions, holding elected officials accountable, and demanding transparency at every level of law enforcement. Thus, as Glendale's committed residents continued their push for reform, a renewed spirit of cooperation emerged, uniting law enforcement and the community toward shared goals. In conclusion, the Glendale heist served as a catalyst for profound change, prompting a community-wide commitment to integrity, transparency, and accountability in law enforcement. Together, the residents not only reclaimed their narrative but also inspired a nationwide movement that champions justice, ensuring that the tragic lessons learned would guide them toward a safer and